Yeah.
Okay. So we'll start off with promotions and stuff like that. Okay, so we have 3 promotions that we're announcing for this stream. It's 2 level 3s, 1 level 4. We'll start with the level 3s. We're promoting Noob Genji, who's actually in the stream right now, and JJBA as of this point. For level 4, it's been an incredibly hard. It's been so hard choosing one because we don't want to go too fast and name too many. But we had to go with Beast. I mean, it's just like he's literally the most active
Tremendous
person on
effort.
the most active. He's constantly welcoming people and stuff like that, and he's been incredibly helpful. So after the stream, those 3 people will be promoted.
That's me. Yeah. Other than that, the server's been doing great. We're not gonna shut down general sections anymore. It kind of killed it for everyone.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, I think. Okay, well, we can start off with stuff. Mudkips, you want to start us off?
Alright, so like today's stream is on Death Note, and we'll be discussing like theories and questions that either haven't been answered or like have been answered. So, and just opinions.
This will be an interesting one.
This is our first discussion-based one, so it's going to be interesting. We're going to have to see if we can do it. Please pardon any issues we might have. This is still early podcast.
Like a Socratic seminar.
I've been trying to get stuff working, stuff like that, but we can go into it right now.
Yeah.
Do you guys believe what Light is doing is right or wrong?
Oh my god, you're starting off with like a tricky one.
Oh my god.
A huge one. Oh my god.
That's such a hard question, honestly. Like, I think that. Okay. At the start, what he was doing might not have been morally correct in terms of actually killing people, but he was. You could make the argument that he was doing good.
Right.
The problem is, at least for me, is the fact that he kind of spiraled into the point like where he was killing a bunch of people, and it was just it just doesn't. He just wasn't as good as he was at the very start.
Right.
I think he realized what power he had, and then instead of going after his initial objective, he decided to do other things that just spiraled out of control in the end.
I mean, he practically got a god complex.
So
yeah,
I think what he had in mind was good, but he also, in a sense, couldn't quite get out of the situation he was being put in by the Shinigami. He didn't abuse the power, but he also played it very smart because he used multiple Kiras. The fake Kira, I forgot his name. The one that went crazy. Light wasn't like him at all.
The elite guy?
Yeah,
the elite guy.
Yeah.
Sakura.
Freaking okay.
Yeah, but like what he was doing wasn't completely like due to circumstances. What the situation he was in, he kind of had to play through the game, and the power that he was given in that game, he had to use it to the best of his ability. And what he was wanting to do was create a whole new vision for everyone on the planet, and that was to go put murder names every criminal to eliminate a part of a definition that was put towards humanity, and that is through crime and anger, stuff like that. But I feel like when he handed off to fake Kira and everything like that, which I'm going to bring up several times in this stream, because towards the other theories and other questionable things. But that's what I think about it. I think that what he's doing is correct for his position, especially for the vision or for the perspective we have on the protagonist, which is Light. So.
Hey, you guys, okay, here we go. Freaking. So Kira, the fake Kira that you're talking about, his name was Kira X. Well, X Kira.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And his death is different in the anime than the manga.
Doesn't he stab himself?
In the anime, yes.
Yeah.
And in the manga, he dies in custody.
Oh.
Right.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
There's a lot of differences between the 2 versions.
Did you want me to bring up another theory here? I might as well start talking since we're talking about X. You know.
Yeah, it's just we gotta make sure, we just gotta flow is good.
Yeah. So did Nier cheat? That's what.
Dude,
What do you mean?
Cheat.
So
like yeah,
Nier
you,
finds Kira X. Like we find out that investigators find a death note, right? In the locker when he was working out. They found a death note, and Nier shows it towards the end in the anime. He shows it, and that Kira kills himself, stabs himself. But he does it in the anime. The way he does it looks like he was on command, like he was killing himself, like
So
in a fashion of that Nier used a death note on
to
him.
control him.
Yeah, to control him, because he remember we have so many seconds in that split time when Nier was taken out. Before then, he must have already had his name in it, because he comes in, he's reckless, and he
Okay.
kills himself in a fashion of like blood everywhere, like, and he's screaming. It's
Mhm.
it's crazy, and I think there's a little bit more behind it. Like Nier knew the power of the Death Note. The thing is that there's two of them. There's it was between a real one and a fake one. Anyways, Light's also there, and I feel like it doesn't really get presented like as if Nier did cheat to kill or kill Light or anything like that. But I think Nier did use the Death Note to eliminate, help eliminate Light or catch him.
I don't think I wouldn't say that's cheating. Like with like Light has kind of made the well, I wouldn't say he really has made the rules, but he's kind
Mhm.
of I would say anything really goes. I mean, and the thing is, like, this is something I was gonna bring
Get
up
off my
in the
chair.
stream, is that Nier and L, while like playing the same role, are vastly different people
Mhm.
in how
Yeah.
they're trying to catch Light. L was like he was totally down to have a full like cat and mouse game. I mean, from the very beginning, he knew Light was Kira,
Right.
but he liked the cat and mouse game. He didn't really want that to end.
Which the manga covered way better than anime, in terms of like the way it was more of a suspense. When I was reading the manga, of like playing cat and mouse, like you said, it was just like a constant flow of action. Um, but I feel
Mhm.
like when it came to Nier, that whole thing, like it was just a huge drag, especially towards the anime. Did you?
Just wait.
He was,
Yeah.
he
I
really
have-
wasn't a replacement. But like, just
okay.
I don't know. You have ideas. Carry on. Go ahead. I know you had something to say.
Okay. I thought Nier was a good replacement for L. Hear me out.
Really?
Ooh.
Hear me
Please
out.
explain.
Okay. Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
explain. I want to hear this.
Because it was all planned from the start.
He was
know why?
planning to have Nier play.
Nier was planned from the start. Okay?
Okay.
Really?
L literally sacrificed himself. That's if you think about it, alright? L knew he was gonna die.
Okay.
L knew so remember the freaking the message L leaves for Light
Mhm.
and how like Light deleted it?
Yeah.
Supposedly Nier knew that message. And
Ah.
Mm.
it leads to the events of the second half.
I see.
Okay.
Oh
See,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, sorry. I was just
I
going to
think
answer
The
that
Death Note
question.
one shot.
Yeah, we did. I read it. I didn't think it was necessarily good or bad, but for it to be a special, it was decent. Um,
I read a bit of it. I just couldn't really like. I don't know. It didn't have the same feeling.
I've seen better specials, like,
And I
but
didn't really like the fact that they were. I think they had said that. I don't remember his name, but like the protagonist of that one shot was smarter than Light, and I feel like that's kind of. I don't know. It's kind of stupid because Light is incredibly smart.
Mm-hmm.
I believe
I
that
mean,
took
it's just-
place in 2019, right? The
Did
time
it?
the one shot came out, yeah, or did I
Mhm.
think
One shot came out earlier this year, or is something
oh, I
came
read
out.
it,
I think
I read it
it might have been
2019.
So-
2020.
but as you go, I'm sorry, I cut off. Continue.
Oh no, it's fine. Basically, I just didn't really. enjoy it as much as the original.
Mm.
I think that the protagonist was a bit interesting, and I always like to see Ryuk. It just didn't really have that same feeling, if I'm being honest.
All right. I might have to go back and reread it. It's been a while since I read it, and
I should probably finish it. I mean, it was just a bit
it wasn't
too
ending.
long.
Yeah, it wasn't just like I was surprised they actually released something like that. It's been a while since we've heard anything from Death Note, so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what topic we're talking about near?
Yeah.
What you call it? I'm trying to think. I'm looking at my list to see if I said anything else about Nier.
I mean, here, while you're looking, I'll talk a bit more about him. I just didn't really. I mean, as you said before, you thought that Nier was like good replacement. I just don't really think. I mean, I won't say he's bad. He just doesn't live up to L and his character. I mean, L is just such an iconic character. He's just such a good character, and that whole cat and mouse game he had with Light, it really was such an interesting part, and that's why I really thought that the second part of Death Note dragged. It was because L obviously was not there.
I think that's a valid
But they also waited.
viewpoint. But
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like
okay.
I'm so sorry I cut you off. I feel like
No, carry on.
it was a really long cat and mouse type thing. I mean, we knew L was going to eventually, like, Light was going to win this. Like, I don't think we're gonna have a pro tag long, so like, go on through the series so long just for him to get caught, right?
I mean, he did get caught. I mean,
Well,
but it was
he
all
did.
part of his plan.
Right, but I think when we're talking about Nier, like Nier was already working before, like you said about the note thing coming from L, like, I'm surprised that Light kept it up for so long. But in a sense, I think L could have caught him. Or caught him a lot
He
sooner.
didn't have evidence.
Yeah, but like he was so convinced, and I think that in that helicopter scene, where Light gives back all of his memories, and stuff, like,
Oh yeah.
like L can see the Shimigami. Everyone can see the Shimigami, like standing. It was like whole setup, and I think L then could have just like realized that, like, he could have pulled in. He could have pulled in. He should have not waited so long. I think they should have really held in Light longer. Like they did interrogate and they did held off Light, like, and there's still people killing. But right after Light got released and everything, like the killing rate went up and higher and stuff after he got the Death Note back and everything like that. It's just I feel like there's another thing in the anime, between anime and manga. I believe the manga started 3 years before the anime, right? Anime started in 2006?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay, so manga 2003. We see that Light has so much time. He's the only one who has most amount of time to get most of the kills. Like, he had over 100,000 or 200,000 kills. Anyways, as he passes on through these, like, all throughout these characters, we had 3 other Death Note holders. And just to cover up his tracks and stuff, it goes all over the place. And that's something I kind of want to highlight on, is like the way it's been passed on through all these people, just to clarify that L had enough time to capture Light.
He couldn't. Even if he didn't really.
Well,
Actually didn't. If L got evidence, like literally that's the only reason. There was nothing to prove that Light was Kira. Not a single thing.
That's true.
Okay, so Light thought it was a good idea that him and Misa just, instead of getting away from L and the whole police department, but to get closer to make them look less suspicious, right? Do you think the anime could have moved out, or the manga could this could have ended a lot differently if they had moved away from the police department and stuff.
That's an interesting question. I
Like-
don't. It's hard to say,
Oh my
honestly.
god.
Like they're on a
Because-
constant move and stuff, like
Mhm.
going from Japan to America and like traveling constantly.
That's a good question, by the way. Frick.
I thought of that when I was sleeping. so.
Never thought about that.
I kind of had some theories on that aspect. This is a worldwide type thing, but it was mostly Japan. The death rates were going high in Japan mostly, because Light was just focused on. He's writing down at least 60, an average of like 60 people in the Death Note every day, and it's mostly taking place in Japan. Of course, I think he could have been a lot more successful if he traveled around the world. Like, I mean, I feel like there have been a lot more mountains, and there possibly been a better plot plan for this coming in with L2. Like, it's just and Nier especially, instead of having one position of a villain in Light's perspective, why not have like a team of people? Wow, I'm about to make a JoJo reference. Like, just traveling around the world and searching for Light. So, and Misa. I think that would expose them into like, oh, they're Kira, right? Or Light's Kira, but I think that would have been the anime would have been a lot longer and a lot more entertained. But I kind of it's kind of a theory if they had done something.
That is a pretty interesting theory. I agree that it would have been a lot more interesting if they did that. Although I guess the original was pretty interesting.
Right. Oh yeah, I'm not saying like the original anime is bad. I feel like they could have done something that could be a special too, and some type of other timeline maybe. But in terms of if you're going to bring it back, I would like to see something more worldwide instead of like focus on a point in a single area like Japan. But I
So
think
you want to see Death Note brought back? Is that?
yes, but not with the same characters.
Okay. So there's an alternate manga ending, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is, it's not canon. It's like it could have happened. It was in the works, but like it's not. Okay, so
Oh, yeah,
basically, Light, when he dies, right, he has to relive all the deaths
Mm-hmm.
of everybody who he's killed, right?
Ooh.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
okay, wait, no,
that's
I'm not.
really like. I honestly think I might have liked that more than the ending we got. I mean, it closed everything off, but like it just seems like such an interesting change.
Yeah.
And
That'd be-
Light,
that's the-
what you call it? Light has to, in order, he has to relive every single death he, caused.
Mm-hmm.
And he tries to make
Right.
a deal with Ryuk, saying that he'll help bring like the Shinigami, talk to the Shinigami King to bring the Shinigami world like to order.
Mm-hmm.
And so Ryuk smiles and takes Light to the Shinigami King, and that's just how it leaves off that alternate ending.
Jeez.
So it leaves
Kind of
space for
mysterious,
more.
Yeah. DLC. Okay.
DLC.
In DLC, that's true though.
Yeah. Do you think there's a possible chance they could expand on that?
Honestly,
They could. I
Not
mean, if they keep going with the spin-off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool. Seeing it animated, maybe. I mean, like, I don't think that would be past the season
might.
1 or 2, but that would be really
Mhm.
interesting. Another key point I was wanting to like kind of like focus on are the character developments in this. Going from not only the pro tag, but all the way down to the investigators, like the whole team of investigators.
Mhm.
And we could shine on some of the other characters that we see in the very beginning. Like, I forgot her name, but her fiance died and she was teaming up with Light, and Light ended up killing her. I
Talking
don't.
about the agent.
Yeah.
The agent's wife.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
was literally the reason. I was going to talk about this. He is like the reason why like obviously not directly, but he's the reason why I believe that Light got caught, because the
Um,
events of Light killing him led to all of this stuff,
mhm.
and ultimately was one of the reasons why L was able to realize it was him.
There,
Makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think the fashion of Light though, when he was talking to her, it, like, I think it was just like a test run, but it was also the most screwed up thing that he's ever done, in my opinion. I mean, I wish I actually had the clip downloaded. I was, but I think that was like a key. That was like a high like risk in a sense. Like he was just testing how long it'd take for her to go kill herself and everything, and he was just kind of thinking about it. It was all timed perfectly. Um, but I think it was not only gruesome, but some of the other characters I kind of like expand on, especially with the investigator team, because we had some really interesting personalities. Like they're freaking out a lot.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like one of us is like Kira, because you know when, uh, yeah, it was crazy, especially with the TV station part. That was a huge moment. Um, but I think we should talk about Light's dad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has he doesn't he's an interesting character.
Okay.
He was a pretty interesting character, and his sacrifice was also pretty good. Like
hmm
the whole thing with the Shinigami eyes was
Oh
pretty
my
cool,
god,
honestly.
that was another level. I there's not much to say of him per se in terms of him finding out that his son is Kira, and
Didn't he ever find out?
no,
No,
wait,
he
I thought.
No, because remember when he
died.
had the Shinigami eyes,
Oh,
he
he
couldn't.
did. That's right.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
he never found out.
I thought he found out before he died though.
Nope, never
No.
found out.
Huh.
I don't think so. No.
That's interesting.
How would that go?
I mean,
Well, I remember he was so relieved when he thought that L
Yeah.
was.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's yeah, I kind of forgot.
I
I
mean, I
thought
think that he did have some suspicions, though.
he did.
The fact that he was checking means that he wasn't, without a doubt, sure
But that's an
that L wasn't Kira, or not L. I keep mixing them up. Light wasn't Kira,
mhm.
and I think that's really, really sad. Like that he never really got to truly find out that his son was Kira, and that his son had done all of this stuff.
Mhm.
It's very sad, honestly.
I mean, do you guys think that if Light came forward to his father to tell him that he was Kira, but in the very beginning before he actually did massive killing for reckless reasons, they would have like do you think that his dad would have teamed up with him?
Teamed up with him as Kira, I would say no, but I think that his dad, like this, and this is like you said at the very beginning, not when he started mass killing.
Yeah. Mhm.
His dad would. I don't think his dad would turn him in. I think his dad would try and get him to stop what he's doing.
Hide
Since
him
it's
until then.
morally wrong. I mean, like the thing is, I just don't think a parent would. Some parents they love their kids so much that they wouldn't want.
Right. But like in
They want
terms
to
of
correct them. Is what I'm
in
saying.
terms of like power,
Mhm.
in terms of like power greedy and every like, do you think it would have shaped the personality, like change the development of that character, like it
Like
did for
that.
Light? Yeah, yeah, like it did for Light. I mean,
I think so. I mean,
yeah.
like if they teamed up, I think it
we
would.
don't really know much on the, we don't know much on like in the beginning of Death Note. We only got the perspective of Light. We didn't like really see much of a family talk. Like it was just all we knew is that his dad cared for him and like and everything like that. Um, but yeah, I think that he stayed calm though, and the way he sacrificed what we talked about with the Shibagami eyes was badass enough. Like he had he did really great in the anime. I really like that.
Hmm. I agree.
Another thing I was wanting to expand on was the were the women in this anime.
Misa, she should not even be dead.
Well,
She
yeah,
shouldn't,
but
honestly. Like,
it's not just
that
that.
that
I'm
whole
sorry.
thing with the Shinigami, where she should be immortal.
She technically should be.
She
That's how
should.
that.
That's interesting,
But
honestly.
Death Note made the look all the women in this anime look dumb.
What do you mean?
Well, think of Misa. It's like we have in the comments. It's like have her life cut into two, like by one man who never loved her. Um,
That's true.
and yeah, which actually hits. She was just used in every way. She even knew herself that Light wasn't pretending to be like badass and that he didn't have time to love her. She just kept thinking like she had to keep chasing him and everything because she was obsessed.
Uh-huh.
It's
And he
not
used her, and that's the thing. Like with Light, is that he is a master manipulator, and
Right.
that's why his character is just like so. It's hard to find words. Like, he's just
In a
a
sense, he's a
complex
villain.
character.
Right.
I mean, just the way he like was able to manipulate people. I mean, it's not right, but it's still like to be commended.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff.
And there's one more thing I was wanting to cover. I know I'm talking a lot, but what if Light didn't like have to have a consistent rate of kills every day? Like, what if he just focused on bigger people who are causing issues in society?
Serial killers and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Honestly, I feel like he wouldn't be such a controversial figure if he was only killing people that really had no hope in society. But he started killing every criminal,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like
Yeah.
for stuff that people could have like gotten over in a way, like, and turned their life around. He still killed them. That's the point where it starts getting
Without remorse.
like just without remorse or anything like that. I mean, he truly was a sociopath. He didn't care about the fact that these people would possibly be able to change themselves.
Like, who's the real villain of the show?
Yeah, definitely gonna have to get into that. God, it's hard to really
Yeah.
truly say who's the real villain. I mean, from the actual anime standpoint, the protag is Light, and the antagonist is L, and then later Nier. The problem is, from a moral standpoint, I would say that L is the good person in that way, and Light would be the evil person.
Right.
But
Okay,
like everyone has different opinions on this. That's the problem. Like, it's a really polarizing topic.
What you call it?
Hmm.
Freaking. Like, you saying it's really like you said, it really is dependent on how you view. What's your viewpoint on like who do you want to see? Who do you believe is your protagonist technically? Because if you look at L's point of view, L believes what he's doing is right, and it is in an
It's
ethical
morally
way.
right, yes.
But like,
one interesting thing about L is the fact that if he had the Death Note, I believe he would have done the exact same thing. I mean, L is also a sociopath. He doesn't care about people's emotions or anything like that. I feel like he would do the exact same thing. The only thing is that he didn't actually care about the people dying. The thing is, he wanted to solve the case. He liked that cat and mouse game with Light and stuff. It was all a game to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's still truly hard to say like if either one of them is a good person. I feel like in terms of like who was actually probably the best person, I would definitely say Light's dad. He would be the true, not really, I wouldn't say hero, but like idea of good, if that makes sense.
Okay.
His goal was to stop the killings, stop all the killings. Whereas L wanted to solve the case, like I've said. That's all he really cared about.
Right. Did we want to expand on like Light's vision and like could we possibly come up with a vision for the viewers like what would if Light was successful and he kept up with this game for 30 years? What would that world look like then?
Oh God! Like, see, my problem with that world is the fact that people would lose their free will because it would just there'd be different. The levels would just keep going higher, and to the point where one small thing would result in you getting killed.
Hmm.
Like, I feel like even like people just littering, that would eventually turn into getting killed. So it would become a society where no one
Yeah.
can really do stuff because they
Right.
would constantly have to worry about dying from
A
an
society
invisible
controlled by
threat.
fear.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Essentially. Yeah,
The
that'd be
thing is,
scary.
Light is just trying too hard to be a god, and it just his version of society, his vision of society, just would not work. People
Mhm.
need free will. They need to be able to do stuff for their own and decide whether what they're doing is right or wrong. You can't. It's not like really. You shouldn't be forcing people.
Right.
It's up to themselves to decide if what they're doing is right or wrong.
Um, but Gibbs Lord, you guys have anything to add?
Not to that. I have other stuff to say, but what you call it?
Okay.
Like, so when a person dies in the Death Note universe, they go to a place called Mu,
Yeah.
which is basically nothingness, right? But which means that spirits can't exist. But at the end of Death Note, in the anime only, L visits Light as a spirit as he's dying on the steps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I do think that's kind of stupid, but that really could honestly just be,
Oh wait, what are you saying by people who die by the Death Note?
No, just
or
in
just in
general.
the
Just in
Death Note
general.
universe, like
Okay.
Yeah,
they fade into nothingness. It's basically like the atheist worldview of
The,
our
the
world,
void.
that when you die, nothing happens. You just die.
Well, well, that sucks because I was gonna bring up Death Parade, but guess it doesn't
You
make
can
sense
still bring
now.
up Death Parade.
Well,
Yeah, I was wondering when you were gonna bring that up.
yeah, because it's such a good anime. But my connection was that it took place in the same time as of um of Death Note, but the kills weren't the same. Like how people arrive to this point of like being judged to either go um, go to hell or go back down to earth and stuff like that. We have an arbitrator who helps judge, and they play games that help them bring up past memories of like what they did between good and bad, or and sometimes there's couples. Anyways,
Yeah.
they get judged and everything, and um, there was some theories going around that both Death Note and Death Parade were related, not only by title, but by kind of like characteristics.
Actual universe, like being related in the actual
Yeah,
universe, or
in
just
actual,
more.
well, there were both actually. Someone, I read an article, also watched a lot of videos on like, oh, they take place in the same universe, or they're just related by the two creators. Anyways, there were some serial killers in Death Parade. They're kind of like relatable towards the Death Note. They were judged and they were not sent back down to Earth. They were sent to a void. And there was also
Mhm.
couples
Yeah.
and stuff. But there's this one character, I already forgot her name, who remembered her death, and so
Oh my god.
we see her as a protagonist. And I mean, there's not much to say about between the two. It's just like there's some points where that relate to Death Note in some sense, but
Chiyuki was her name, by the way.
oh yeah,
Chiyuki.
Shiku. Um, but yeah, I didn't really have much to say on that other than that there were some theories going around about that, but I would love to see like a manga maybe that's mixing up the two, and maybe I not with the same characters,
That'd be
but it would be really
cool.
cool to see. Yeah. But having to bring up with the manga and like and everything with Death Note, I think that kind of changes that the point of that connection between the two.
Mhm.
But yeah, Mike, did you have another question or theory?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Lord.
All right. How did he get that TV in the chip bag?
Oh my god. How do you not remember the chip bag? What the fuck?
The chip bag. What are you talking?
When Light's room
That's
was
like an
bugged.
infamous scene.
Yeah,
It's
when
the
Light's room
potato chip scene.
was bugged
Yeah.
and he was being monitored by L and
Wait,
whole
how do you get the
department.
pen in the chip bag? Is that what you said?
No, how
he
you
said
get the TV?
Yeah, he had a TV in there.
Huh?
I'll take a chip.
How do
You don't
I'll take
remember
a
that?
chip
That was
and eat
actually
and I'll eat it.
eat it. Yeah, that was a huge
You
scene.
need to go watch that scene.
Hold on.
We can bring it up right now, actually. Caleb?
We could.
No, I'm looking it up.
Okay.
Oh, you're looking up? Okay.
I'm surprised you don't remember that. I'm gonna pick up a
Wait,
chip and
okay.
eat it.
I watched the dub, and it was like that moment was just so funny to me because like
Yeah,
it's so exaggerated. He literally was like, "I'll take a potato chip and
What
I'll
the
eat
frick?
it." Did you see it?
Uh-huh.
You
How
don't
does
remember
it even
that?
work?
Yeah.
I don't remember
yeah.
that.
It's like
So
such a
many,
small TV and that little bag of chips.
Yeah. It's really
many
weird.
mysteries of Death Note.
I mean, it's an anime.
Yeah.
It's weird,
Yeah, totally.
but I still think it's funny.
Oh,
It is.
I mean, yeah, I think that was just that
Oh
was.
my god.
I mean, after that, they still bring Light in for questioning, and they even hold him. So, I mean, that scene was kind of just like a funny little joke. But yeah, did anyone else want to bring up?
The freaking cult.
Oh.
Kira's religion.
Oh yeah, that was the manga, correct?
It's the ending to the manga. There's the religion of Kira is what it's called.
I think that's incredibly interesting that he had a religion. I would like to know how they would carry out their stuff though, considering I don't really think they would have a death note. So would they just kill people like in his name?
That might. Oh, honestly, that seems like the most logical thing. I don't think they'd be pacifist.
Oh yeah, well no, definitely not. I'm just wondering what their methods are, like,
Yeah, it's an interesting topic.
because they have to. Like, I don't know.
How many were there?
It's definitely interesting.
How many?
There's
are-
a lot.
Yeah,
There's
Like-
a lot of people in that.
I think there were. Yeah, that's really.
There's like a
interesting.
whole nation believing in him.
Really, a
basically-
whole nation?
That's what it literally looked like. There was a whole bunch of people. They were all holding lamps, and there was just one figure walking down, like a pathway.
Was
And I
this in-
forgot what they said.
Was this in the U.S.? Or
I don't know. They didn't have any location. It was just like everybody. It was just like I don't know how to show you, but like it was just freaking a bunch of people lined up on two different sides of a pathway, and they're all in black robes. And then there's one person in a white robe with like a lantern walking down that pathway.
Jeez.
Interesting.
That is, yeah. I do you guys feel like that Near or Light could have been evil in any way against their beliefs and against society?
Mm. Like,
They have their own secret agenda.
Yeah.
oh well, yeah, we were talking about this earlier. I think both of them are evil people, not necessarily their actions were evil, just themselves were not good people. I mean, like I've said before, they roll for sociopaths. They didn't really care.
All right.
Light didn't care about the people he was killing. L didn't care about the people that were dying. He just wanted to finish the case.
So, which leads on to my next question. What if they were... It feels like this Death Note blinds people, gives them, like, courage, like, gives them new visions. Do you think that would
A
happen?
God complex.
Well, yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
that's,
like,
I
I'm pretty sure
think-
we all know what Zion would Lord would do if he got
Well, yeah. Alex.
Excuse me?
But if we gave this power to Nier or L, do you think they would also be blinded and use that power?
L, yes, Nier, no.
What you call it? If you think about it, they already showed that L has the mentality just to kill people because
Mhm.
when L revealed his fake name, right, on the news, Light wrote it down and it ended up killing somebody else.
Oh, that's
He didn't
true.
care
He's
about
willing
that
to
guy. That's the
sacrifice.
thing.
Yeah.
So
Could
he
not kill
literally,
people.
yeah, he sacrificed somebody just to like test a theory.
Jeez.
So, which is why I feel like if L had the Death Note, he'd do the exact same thing as Light did. It's
It's
just
a
they're
matter of
both terrible
circumstance.
people. It's all a matter of circumstance. It just happened. The Death Note just happened to fall at Light's feet,
Mhm.
and then he used it. If that happened to L, he would have done the exact same thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Ryuk has 2 Death Notes. Just letting you
He
know that.
does
Mhm.
Mhm.
his own,
And
and then the one he dropped.
his original one, right? Because there's a prequel manga, and it goes to this kid, right?
Mhm.
And the kid writes down, he gets bullied, right? And he writes down his 2 bullies' names in the Death Note, right?
Mhm.
And he didn't know they would die, right? So Ryuk ends up giving him something called the Death Eraser, and he erases their names and they come back to life.
Holy.
Oh,
Wait, can you
Oh.
describe the deaths that they experienced once the kid found out that they died?
Heart attacks.
Meat grinder.
What the?
well, if he didn't write anything, it's just heart attack, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's.
So it probably would
Oh,
have just been a heart attack. That reminds me of that one Smosh video. Did you guys see the like Smosh Death Note one?
I don't. I don't know.
No, I
Okay, so
not seen
basically
that.
they made a video about Death Note, and they also had like the thing called a Life Note in there, and it was basically just like not exactly the Death Eraser because it was a different book, but if someone possessed the Life Note, they could bring someone back to life as long
Dog.
as they knew their name. It's an interesting concept for a comedy video, but like,
The Dragon Balls.
yeah, that's fucking Dragon Balls.
That's quite
Oh my god.
interesting. Oh.
If Light had access to the Death Eraser, I think that Light would have won and not L. Oh yeah, that's I didn't say that earlier, but I thought okay, L was the one who won overall. He literally, if you think about it, he knew he was going to die, so he basically, set up all the stuff for Nier so that Nier would win. But it's still technically him winning. It's still L winning.
Jeez.
He did not take an L. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
You're
sorry.
not taking it
Oh my
out.
god, he did not take it
Oh my
out.
god.
That's so bad. Oh my god.
Alright, well, let's focus on some developments between manga and anime. Um,
Anime.
yeah, so in terms of anime, Light Yagami seems a bit more crazy in the beginning. In terms of animation.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I there's a few questionable scenes. Like we don't know if he's either orgasming over it or he's just crazy.
Oh my god. I mean, I think he all it is that he got a god complex. He likes that power
Hmm.
of being able to hold everyone's lives in his hands. As long as he knew their name, he could kill any single person.
Right. Um.
And I really liked how I've always said I really like the dynamic between Light and L. Light so desperately wants to be able to kill L. He can't do that. He doesn't know his name, so it drives him crazy.
Yeah. There's so much that happens between the two. Um, but I think like there's like a lot of times, especially in anime, like um, I feel like if Light had L's uh, like sense of control, I think there, I think the fight between the two would have lasted a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think Light was jumping too quickly,
Yeah.
and he lost his cool so many times. I think that's also what caused mistakes. That's what gave him the ability to pass on, make new rule, pass on the book, especially the fake book and everything like that. And I feel like Nier would have not been needed in anime if that had happened. But in terms of, because we have to understand that Light is also a kid still. He's still a student.
Well, towards the end, he was an adult working as an investigator.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he
in the
was.
second part, but at the end of the first season, or like the first half, he was in college.
Oh, that's called. Oh yeah. Oh no.
So I mean, he technically was an adult for most of it. I mean, I think
He's still
even
young.
at the start he was like 17
Yeah.
in senior year of high school. So I think he definitely. I wouldn't really say that he was a kid, but
He's really smart.
he
We
was
know
really
that.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know much of like else to say about L though.
L in the manga is interesting, and so is Light. They both are written completely different compared to the anime.
How?
They are like, okay, so you know how they basically establish both of them as like crazy to find out who Kira is, or like, well, L to find out who Kira is, and for Light to take down L in the manga, right? Frick. But in the manga, they slowly build that up. Like, they don't fully establish that until later on, like towards the end of where L dies. I would say around the helicopter scene is when they actually fully establish that, or the part where what you call it, not L, Light and Misa are in the car with Light's father.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that. Anyone have any other like point of views you want to describe?
Well, one thing I definitely wanted to talk about is like I'm sure you guys remember when Light like purposely decided to let himself be locked up and stuff like that. I really it's just that all that conviction to be able to do that and to plan everything out to know you're gonna get the Death Note back. It's amazing. I mean he all that time he waited and everything went to plan. He was able to get it back, and I thought that was a really cool like scene when he was holding the Death Note in the helicopter.
That animation though, just gonna say, that was a whole nother. That was interesting. I think. I mean, I think that there was one more thing I was want to bring up. It's really weird, but what if we had ability in reality had ability to have a Death Note?
See, it depends. If everyone had that, then I don't think
Nigel.
Well,
there really
I
would
was just
be
thinking about four of us.
perfect society. I don't think it'd really be society because then
I
there'd be
hate it,
the like
Nigel. Oh my god.
what?
Oh no. Okay. This is. Never mind. Carry on.
No. I know about Nigel, but where did Nigel come up?
Oh, you're saying
Okay.
it's a different
Anyway,
breed.
it
It's worse for me than you. I had the same
Yeah.
elementary school as him.
That's true.
Still Legos and Beyblades for people.
okay.
Yeah.
So if everyone had that, there wouldn't really be a society because the smallest grievance would lead to someone killing you. I mean,
Wow.
if in a society like that, people would be using it all the time. If like one or two people had it, then I think probably the same stuff that happened in the story would happen. It all depends on who gets it.
Right.
If it's someone stupid, they
Yeah.
probably it'd be hard to say what they would do, and they'd probably get caught very easily.
Now, what if it was just four of us, like us four that had the Death
Just
Note?
us four. I probably wouldn't see. I say this now, but you can't really say it unless you would actually have that. I don't think I'd want to kill anyone.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
Hypothetically,
Well, we'll
I
stop
would
saying
say
names.
only truly terrible people.
What if you had to?
Kim Jong.
Oh yeah, because
If I
that's another thing.
if I had to, I would only like I said, truly terrible people, like stuff like that. People who are like terrible in society and who really don't deserve to really live in it. But it's hard to say that because I really believe that no one deserves death unless they are truly absolutely terrible.
Because then again, if you think about it, okay, you might think this person is awful. You know, did you like the worst thing, torture people? But then again, who are you to say this and to judge people like this in the end?
True.
So it's
Hmm.
you kind of I don't know, sticky.
Mm-hmm. Well,
It's not morally right.
what
'Cause,
if?
you know, killing morally right at
So,
all.
Shinigami's the way of entertain for them to keep themselves entertained is to interfere with other worlds. Now, let's
Don't
say,
bring up.
huh?
Don't freaking.
I'm not gonna bring up
Don't.
Bleach. Don't worry, no. Oh my god. Actually, I wasn't even close to thinking about Bleach until now. So,
Oh my
but
god.
anyways, Shimigami goes down to Earth and makes a deal with a nation, and they can use a Death Note at their but they have to follow the game, the rules of the game, and everything. My monitor just went off, so I have to keep an eye on chat. Anyways, what do you guys think the reaction would be towards the world? Would it have a bigger impact than one person having the ability of the Death Note, or like the government having control of the Death Note?
The government has control
Huh.
of the Death Note, right? It
Mhm.
depends on what part of the government. So, and it also depends on like the leader.
What
If it's a
and what
dictator,
government it is?
Yeah, what government
Yeah,
it is.
true.
I would say, let's take U.S. as an example.
Trump.
Democracy.
Both sides would not use that right at all. Not a single side. Both, if you think about it,
mhm.
right? Democrats and Republicans will both use it the same way to make sure their side
Yeah, it's
succeeds.
just
But that's another
didn't
reaction of it. I would feel like that the supporting parties would step down, especially for Democrats. Like there just won't be that much support against those parties, in terms of if it's best for society.
Yeah, but if the supporting parties, then the freaking, let's say Democrats, right?
Mm-hmm.
They get the Death Note, then they lose it. Then people find out and they stop supporting them. They lose power, then the Republicans get the Death Note.
Right, and I think we already know their reaction.
but if you think of this,
It doesn't work out either way.
Right.
let's think about like the past election, right? Okay, if let's say the Democrats have the Death Note, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, honestly, they could just kill anyone on the opposing party, and then
Oh my god.
and then just win just because of that.
That's true, honestly.
Well,
So it's funny.
Like Mike
It's
said,
true.
either one of them would have used it
Yeah,
to
Right.
benefit themselves.
Either one.
now I wasn't thinking about nation going against themselves, but I was just kind of thinking about nations going against other nations, like taking out
Well, yes.
leaders
Because you
or.
can consider this.
I mean,
It's internal and external.
Well, I just think
imagining like wars being fought with one side having a Death Note is really interesting.
and the other side
Yeah.
having All Might.
They could just someone could
Can you
go.
just kill All
Actually,
Might then?
no one really knows All Might's name.
Well, yeah.
Oh
Just
yeah.
only people will know his name.
Now I'm gonna bring up
Whoever-
Bleach. I'm just playing. No, I'm not.
Whoever kills
Okay,
Hitler
Thunder-
gets
You brought up
Thunder-
My Hero. Do you have something to say about that's relevant to Death Note?
Code Geass is anime.
Code Geass could also be related.
A huge relation.
Yeah, it's true considering what we were just talking about. It's very political.
Very
Very.
political. I would say there's also kind of similar themes in you guys are gonna kill me for saying this. Attack on Titan. Well, actually, you don't really know. Like manga Attack on Titan is very different from anime Attack on Titan. there's definitely some moral themes that like could be argued about.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot that happens with Aaron and stuff like that. It's crazy. I'm telling you, Aaron becomes a Lelouch level protagonist. He's just so different from how he was in the anime. Like,
Still gotta watch season 3.
yeah, we should start that.
My Kips really hates it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch Attack on Titan. I'm sorry.
If I pay $1 million.
If I watch Attack on Titan, I would literally have to sit down and rewatch everything because I was watching it back when it was coming out weekly on Toonami.
Oh my. Okay.
Toonami. I was watching Dragon Ball Super on Toonami.
I didn't watch Dragon Ball till a year ago.
So, have any regrets?
I mean, it was a Broly movie.
Well,
was
we can
probably-
make fun of it now.
So you watched the entirety of Z and Super like a year ago.
Yeah.
Wow, I watched Z like I think around 3 years ago.
It's his favorite
Actually, 3 years
anime.
ago. No.
No, you got it wrong. You gotta get it right. Fairy Tail it's favorite
It's Fairy
anime.
Tail. Yeah.
No, I haven't. Who the fuck is the one who actually watched Fairy Tail?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You watched and read it.
Did you read
You
it?
read it, you ape on a
I
cheese.
read this like 8 times. I did read all of it because I didn't feel like suffering.
Okay, you know what? I know at
Watch it.
first you were watching because you want to spoil Joe, but you having
Did
to
that.
read it and alright. Did anyone else have anything to add on Death Note?
Damn. What you call it? Freaking. Hold on.
Oop.
Mellow. We didn't say
Oh, yeah,
anything
that's
about
right.
Mellow.
Oh
We
shit.
were
Well,
gonna
that's
talk about
right.
Mellow.
You know
Mellow
about
was
the
weird.
fake Death Note.
Like, his whole chocolate thing was really weird.
That was funny.
Chocolate!
That was funny.
Mellow is interesting. All right.
How do you know about the fake Death Note?
See the Majin Buu face.
Mr. Satan.
No, I can't say that.
Was that was that all night?
Running.
I think we got like around an hour. We
Yeah.
can finish it here.
Yeah, for those of you who tuned in, thanks for stopping by.
Is there anything else we need to add?
We would like it if you could give us some feedback in the general or in DMs, just anything.
Yeah,
Feedback is appreciated.
didn't we want to
Yeah.
do the after stream chat?
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to see if anyone joins them.
Yeah.
But we'll be in there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, thanks for saying goodbye. Yeah, we got a good hour in for today's
I
stream.
hope you enjoyed.
Yeah.
Ooh, next week JoJo stream.
Is
Oh
it?
yeah, JoJo
Oh.
stream.
Is it
All the
next week?
JoJo fans in here. You gotta be ready for
Next
that.
week is JoJo.
My, oh
JoJo
my.
stream is next week.
Oh,
Tell all your-
time for
tell
the
your
old
family and
Joseph. Sake.
Time to do some research again.
No, but yeah, we had a great discussion today. But yeah, make sure you check out our YouTube and other social platforms right below.
If you haven't followed on Twitch, please do so.
Yes,
That'd be
please,
very helpful.
please do so. Oh, you haven't watched JoJo? I highly
Yeah.
recommend it. JoJo's fire. It's on season 2.
Honestly, I think JoJo's just average.
As
Well,
average.
can you leave your opinions for next?
Yeah,
I'll
it's
have to
like-
leave my opinions about JoJo till the
Mr.
next
Bryce
stream.
Papenbrook Italian.
Oh my god, Bryce Papenbrook is so bad.
But yeah,
Okay, well,
all right. Yeah, thanks.
see you guys.
Alright.
Uh,
Yeah.